I am so hyped for Pokemon Legends EA that I had to make this video. Now if you, like me, have been keeping up with the leaks and rumors, you'd know what the general group of Megas are. If you don't want to be spoiled, click off the video. But today I'm going to be talking about two Pokemon in particular. Here's your spoiler warning. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now that anyone who doesn't want to be spoiled is gone, these two Pokemon that I want to talk about today are Xerneas and Yveltal. In almost all the leaks for Megas I've looked at, Zygarde is said to get a Mega, but there's no Xerneas or Yveltal. Now this might sound crazy, but there's a possibility that they won't even be in the game. Yes, the previous box legendary Pokemon might not even be in the game. But why not? Well, the entire game takes place in the city of Lumiose. We don't really know where Xerneas and Yveltal are right now, nor do we know what happened to the original XY protagonists and if they still have that legendary. Seeing as neither game can be canonized but instead a mix of both games, we cannot be too sure about the return of these legends. There is a small problem though. You see, in Kalos there were only 3 legendary Pokemon revealed. Sure, there were mythicals like Diancie, Volcanion, and Hoopa, but there were no more actual legends that were introduced. Obviously, similar to Legends Arceus' Enamorus, I think more legends will be introduced for the Kalos region. But it's not that 100% that our originals will return. I do believe that they're returning, but there's still a chance that they don't. Now, if I think that them not getting a Mega doesn't necessarily cut them out of the game, then why'd I even bring it up? I think that Xerneas and Yveltal will get new forms, but not Megas. I think their new forms will be Primal Xerneas and Primal Yveltal. Now, last time we were in Kalos, we got 2 Primal forms for Kyogre and Groudon. So what is stopping us from getting new Primals? Now, Primal Energy isn't just specific to Kyogre and Groudon, like a lot of people do think. It's possibly out of reach for every single Pokemon ever, but not to the important ones like legendaries. The red and blue orbs are what allowed Kyogre and Groudon to access their ancient primal energy. What if we were introduced to 2 new items like the Branch of Life and the Shell of Death, for example? I came up with these names obviously because Xerneas and Yveltal represent life and death, but why a branch and why a shell? I chose Branch because when Xerneas is resting it turns into a tree, pretty self-explanatory. The Shell of Death is because when Yveltal's in its resting state, it turns into a cocoon. The Shell of Death represents the shell that Yveltal will leave behind once it leaves its cocoon form. I'll admit that they could just introduce 2 more types of orb objects, but these new objects would be pretty cool. The lore behind them being that the branch came from Xerneas' tree back when it was still flowing with primal energy. It's the last thing that can bring Xerneas back to its ancient form. Similarly, with Yveltal's relic, it's a small piece of Yveltal when it was resting in its cocoon for thousands of years. It contains primal energy to also revert Yveltal. I think they could introduce these legends in a special way using primal reversions. A lot of people assume the new Quasartico Inc. is evil, so I'll just run with that theory. Assuming that they're evil, they need energy for whatever project they're going to be working on. A lot of people think they're going to be bringing back the ultimate weapon, so this works very well. They will secretly bring Xerneas and Yveltal to Lumiose City through the underground because we cannot leave the city, so it's not like we can explore to find where the Cocoon of Destruction and Tree of Life is. They'll use the 2 legendaries as energy similar to how Lysander planned to use them. In the process of drawing energy from them, they'll be primalized. But you stop Quasartico from using their energy to power the ultimate weapon. Sadly, Quasartico already drew enough power, and even worse, the 2 legendaries have escaped to run freely through Lumiose City in their primal forms. You must go track them down, catch them both, and return back to the hotel. Or wherever, I don't really know. You and Zygarde will team up to stop Quasartico's final plan. Similar to how Lysander used a false Zygarde in the anime, I've been seeing rumors that Quasartico will do the same thing. You and Zygarde will attempt to stop Quasartico once and for all. Today was a pretty short video, and that's the end of it. I wanted to release a very special video today, but it will most likely be released next week or the week after, so I came up with this idea on the fly, but I don't think it's a bad one at all. If you want me to cover what the DLC could possibly be for this game, let me know in the comments below. That's all, thank you for watching, and since you made it this far, you might as well subscribe. See ya.